Today I'm putting up my 6x12 trailer for sale. Really hate to see that go. I've had a lot of good times in that trailer. I finished the build in 2018. You can find all the videos on that build on YouTube. And yeah, it's been a good companion for the last, well, what is it, 2.5, 3 years now. So, but I've got some other projects that I want to get started, but before I do that, I have to make room, and that is going to be the first item to go. I don't know whether or not I will put the teardrop up for sale for a while just yet, but I probably will. I think over all the decades that I've been building projects, I don't have any of them. I've always sold every project. So sooner or later the teardrop will be up for sale as well. So, alright, the 6x12. I finished in 2018. 6x12, that is the cabin width, 6 feet and 12 feet overall for the cabin, and probably another 4 feet for the trailer itself, so about 16 feet overall length. It weighs approximately, dry weight, just a hair over 2,000 pounds. I've got a Dodge Ram 2012, and it's got a little 6-cylinder motor in it. Pulls it just fine. I go over to the coast, so I have to go over Mount Hood, the pass, and it handles exceptionally well. So the trailer tows fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the trailer, so I'm not getting rid of it because, you know, any issues. I'm just trying to make some room. So without any further ado, that's what's up for sale. Why don't we just go ahead and go out and take a look at it, and, well, you judge for yourself or not whether it's worthy of sale. Let's take a look. Alright, so we'll do a quick walk around, and before we get started, let me say that I did rinse it off real quick, and it cleaned up surprisingly well. I went ahead and opened up the rock guard and cleaned under that, and well, here we go. So 6x12 from the back end to the point is 12 feet, and across is 6 feet, and the added tongue, you have an overall length of about 16 feet. So we'll start on this side here. Rock guard is still nice and sturdy, nice and clean. Same over the sides, pretty much dent free. Let's walk around the back here. It's a little windy out here today, so you might pick up some wind noise. I do keep the front jacked up, so any rain or snow will run off the back. We have our, I think this is our vent, this is our water fill, and this is our drain for our freshwater tank on the inside. Our shore power is 110. And I keep that plugged in during the winter months for the converter, and also I run a small heater inside all winter long, keep things nice and warm. Running Raceline 13-inch wheels and trailer tires. Side marker lights front and back, amber on the front, red on the back. I do have drip rails going over the top of the window and on the window here itself, so any rainwater that comes down won't get on the window. So that is the outside, and the very first trip that I took, we went over some gravel roads, so I do have just a little, ever so slightly, some rock dents on the aluminum, to be expected. The bottom is still surprisingly clean for as many trips that I had taken in this thing. And here is the passenger side. Still looks pretty doggone good. Little bit of dirt, but I think that's expected. I didn't spray the bottom. No sense in trying to wash a pig. Very nice. So that is the outside. We'll go ahead and close up the rock guard, and then we'll take a look at the roof. So we do have a custom rock guard on the front with the Batman logo. If you don't like that, you can always take it off. But full fiberglass, and it protects that front windshield as you're going down the road. Alright, so let's grab a ladder, we'll climb up, and we'll take a look at the top. Alright, here comes the fun part. So the top is nice and clean. Like I said, I just rinsed it off. Still a little bit of water setting. I'm running two 100-watt solar panels. These are the flexible type, and they're held down by the Eternabond tape. Power comes in, and inside are little connectors here that go through the ceiling, and our rain guard for our fantastic fan. So that is the roof. No holes, no tears, no nothing. Solid as almost the day that I built it. Alright. Looking pretty good. And the solar panels work great, keep that battery charged. Alright, so we've taken a look on the outside. Everything is really good shape and held up really well. So let's bounce on the inside and take a look. I don't have a step on the trailer itself, so I use a stool, put a little piece of carpet on there to wipe my feet. And right now, all the curtains are closed. I use blackout curtains, and if it wasn't for this window here in the front, it would be pretty dark in here. So the first thing we're going to do is let's pop open some curtains. There's starting to get a little light in here. Perfect. And then we'll kick on a few lights here in just a second. But all the curtains are blackout curtains. I made those myself, and they are on a Sailrite track, so you have a track on top and bottom, and little snaps so they pull closed, open and close. They use those on sailboats and stuff. Keeps things from moving all over the place, and they do a wonderful job. So let's kick on some lights. Now we're lit up. So starting at the front, we have a small dinette area, which does convert down into a bed. So this unit will sleep 2 adults and 2 small children, or 3 adults very comfortably. So this is the dinette area, and like I said, this converts down into a bed. I'll show you that here in a minute. We have storage on each side. Right now they have the batteries installed, converter and inverter. We'll take a look at those here in a minute. Then swinging around to the back, we also have a 6-foot by 4-foot sleeping area. And by the way, the ceiling height is 6 feet, so if you are any taller than 6 feet, you're going to be a little uncomfortable having to scrunch down. Right now I have the table turned sideways. It's easier, you know, to move in and out and sit down and play games and have dinner and whatnot. There is storage in the back here for items that you probably don't use as much. So if you got cold weather gear and it's summertime, that's where your gear would go. So like I said, this is the rear dinette, converts into the bed, and the forward dinette, which also converts into a bed. So let's take a look at some cabinet space. So in the front section, we have cabinets up top. We have 3 doors, and it's all open through the whole part here. And I do have a little light that we can turn on and show you the inside. So you have this section here, which is nice and large, 6 feet across, and it's about 12 inches deep and a little shallow at the top. I usually put all my plates and Tupperware and items like that, toilet papers, paper towels, cleaning supplies, all those go up there and stow away pretty nice. Then over the kitchen area itself, we have another set of cabinets. Let's see here. It's not going to focus for me. So another set of cabinets here above the kitchen. About a 12 by 12, and up here I usually store a couple of pots and pans, some bowls and coffee pot, that kind of thing, above the kitchen. Then below I also have a cabinet here which houses, I've got 3 shelves. This one here, I usually keep my silverware and Tupperware kind of items like that, and then miscellaneous items. Right now it's of course filled with my stuff, but you got plenty of deep storage all the way in to the back here. And then on this side here is our holding tank for our sink. So it's a 10-gallon tank. Sink drains into that tank and then plumbs out through the bottom. Let's see if I can't. I didn't think ahead here. I remove this. This is the valve here. When you're ready to empty the tank, you undo the cap on the bottom of the trailer, hook a hose to it, and then you open the valve, open the top here. There's not a vent, so this is generally loose and drains that tank real quick. So we'll put that back inside here. Below that cabinet here is just a small area. This here is where the electrical comes in. I keep my garbage bags in here, any extra extension cords, and we have power comes in to our fuse. I think I'm using a 15 amp fuse here. And then we have a power outlet here, which currently I run a small heater. I run that heater throughout the winter, and then in the summer I go ahead and keep the fan on and the windows open and draw in some cool air. And then this here is the house power. So currently it is on, so when I have shore power connected, I turn this switch on. Now I have power to my converter, which will keep my batteries topped off throughout the winter, and I don't have to worry about those draining. And we'll get to those cabinets here in just a bit. Coming back on the passenger side here, we have a small cabinet here on the bottom. I'm probably jerking you guys all around because it's trying to get a nice shot here. But anyway, I keep my dustpans and brooms and things like that. I've got a couple of little cleaning buckets that I wash my stuff outside with when I'm done, and I store those there. Then I also have a nice size wardrobe cabinet. When you open that up, I have a couple of totes here at the bottom that I might put some shoes in. I might put some extra socks and things like that. Also, all my hangers, which do not go with the trailer because I like my hangers. Anyway, you got a nice little rod here, and everything hangs just nice and neat. Comes right down here to the bottom of the totes, and that's our wardrobe. And then we have one last cabinet here at the top, and this one here has a little bit of electronics. This is all of our wiring to our switches that supply lighting throughout the camper. This here is the electrical that comes in from the solar panel. We have positive, negative for both panels coming in, and then joining those two, and now we have positive, negative, and those run to the front. Plenty of storage up here. I just keep junk stuff up top here that I'm not using, and easy to get to. Alright, so this is our dinette area, and it is adequate for 2 people on each side, so you could have 4 people sitting back here and enjoy a nice evening card game and or a nice dinner. So let's convert this into, well, let's take out the table and then I'll show you the storage units underneath. So for me, when I take out the table, I'll turn off this heater first. What I usually do is I put my foot up against the pole here on the bottom, give this a nice little twist, pop that off, and then I can set that down on the side and remove my pole, set that on the floor. So first side, we'll take a look over here where we have a little bit of storage. When you open it up, you got a nice little handle that you can pull. Open that up. I usually keep all my bedding on this side, whether it's my pillows, extra pillows, blankets, those kind of things. I store over here on this side, because when you get up in the morning, make your bed. This is how I make my bed. I fold everything and put it away into the storage cabinet here. We also have these 2 cabinets here. Gives you plenty of storage here for extra clothes that you're not using right away, and shoes or boots or something like that that you don't have to get to all the time. So let me put the cushions over. We'll take a look on this side. So on this side is where we store or have our freshwater tank. This is a 10-gallon freshwater tank. We have a vent here on the top, and or an overflow. We have our fill right here, and then on the bottom we have our drain. So usually what I do, connect the hose on the outside. This valve is off, turn the water on, come in here, open this valve. I wait until the water begins to overflow, turn the valve off, go outside and disconnect the water, and boom, I have 10 gallons of fresh water. We also have the pump right here. It is, I believe, a ShareFlow, and it's a very good pump. I always use a water filter, connect to the outside of the trailer, and my water hose. I also store my little porta potty under here, and at night, my idea was, at night, when I needed it, I would take the porta potty, I'd place that here under the bed. That way if I got up in the middle of the night and need to use the restroom, then I just slide that out, do my business, and slide it back under the bed. Voila, we're done. So anyway, this here stores all of our water essentials. Alright, and when we are ready for nighttime, we can take our table, set it on our rails, slide that back, add our cushions, just like so. And I like to put the 2 large cushions and then the 2 small ones. That way when you're laying on here you don't have a seam that you seem to fall into. And it is large enough for me to lay down full size with about 3 or 4 inches to spare. So I'm about 5'10", 5'10 and a half, 5'11", I don't know. Anyway, I fit in there without my feet or head rubbing, and it's nice and comfortable. So that is our bed. So to turn everything back into a dinette, it's pretty simple. Take our small cushion here, place that back over on the other side, slide this big cushion over, just like so. We can lift our table up, put our pipe in, bang, done. Takes all but about 8 seconds. Alright, so that's the dinette all set up, and we've got our table and our cushions, so we can have our friends over, have a nice dinner, and sit down and chit chat. So let's take a look at the front. Alright, let's convert that bad boy down and see what it looks like. So to remove the table for the front is same as the back. I usually put my foot on the pole and just give this a slight wiggle until that comes up. Remove the table, set it aside, and then grab the pole and pull that up. Set that out of the way so nobody steps, kicks, or rolls that around. And then I'll go ahead and show you what's under the cabinets here in the front. So I'm going to take all the cushions, we'll take those and put those here in the back, and then we'll talk about the batteries. So starting on the passenger side here, as we lift our cabinet, we have our 6-volt battery, and we have 2 6-volt batteries rigged into series, so we end up with 12 volts. And then of course we have an outlet here, and this powers our converter, which we have a green light on, so right now it's charging the batteries. I do have a nice fuse here. I think that's probably like a 100 amp fuse, and everything is nice and tidy. We do have a little bit of room for some storage over on this side. I do have a first aid kit that I keep here in the back, and that's the passenger side, so it's actually a lot of storage over here. Now we'll take a look at the driver's side. So on the driver's side, once again everything's nice and cleaned up. We have our 6-volt battery, and we have a Xantrex 2000 watt inverter. And for our inverter, when we get ready to plug those things in, then we just take our power and plug it in. That will power our refrigerator and microwave. Right now this here is powering the refrigerator and microwave off the house power or shore power, and then we turn on the Xantrex, then we plug this in and we've got power. In the center of our cabinet we have an area here. This houses all of our wiring and our shut-off switch for our Xantrex. So when I get ready to turn on the inverter, I go ahead and disconnect the power from the shore power, and then I turn this on and it supplies power to the inverter. And right now this plug here is for the refrigerator microwave. And if I wanted to power that up right now, I just plug that in. I've got power to the microwave and refrigerator. When I power on the Xantrex, then I just take that out, or that plug, and plug it into the inverter, and we have power to the refrigerator and microwave. So we have fuses coming in from solar panel that we can turn off by pushing the buttons here, and also from the batteries we have a fuse, and going from our distribution panel we also have another inline. These are 40 amp fuses, and I don't know if you can see down in here. Let's see if I can get my other light. So all my large wiring from batteries to the inverter itself. We also have a large fuse here. Everything is protected. So that's the power station. Solar panel or solar power comes in, and we have our charge controller up here, controls power going into the battery, and we've got our little monitor right here. With all the lights on currently, we're pulling about 3.1 amps, and the converter is keeping the power charged, so I don't have to worry about that. And because the sun is not directly overhead, it's telling me that I'm getting 0.1 every once in a while volts coming in, but I don't expect too much. It's very overcast and the sun is almost going down. So that is the front section for the powerhouse. We'll go ahead and plug in the refrigerator and microwave on the shore power. We'll take a look at those, and then we'll disconnect the shore power, turn on the inverter, and fire things back up. So let's do that. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my extension cord. We're just going to go ahead and plug that into our outlet, and that lights up the microwave, and the refrigerator compressor just kicked on. I do have these straps that I put on here for traveling purposes, so when I'm going down the highway, things aren't falling out. Microwave, refrigerator do run perfect. I like the little setup. Works great. And usually what I do is, if I know I'm going on a trip, where you at? There you are. If I'm going on a trip, then I usually come out about a day or 2 days before a trip and turn on the power, get the refrigerator up to temperature, and then the day that I leave for the trip, I switch everything over to the inverter and make a day trip out of it. By the time I get wherever I'm at, refrigerator's still ice cold and works great. There, all ready for travel. So let's turn on the inverter, and then we'll power that up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the house power. Now I have no power going into the converter, refrigerator, or the microwave. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect my extension cable for those units. We'll come over here, kick on the power to the inverter, and you should be able to hear that click. There it is. Now we have power going to the inverter. Go ahead and kick that on. Let it cycle up. Good to go. And then we'll take and plug in our power. Compressor kicked on onto the fridge, and we have power going to the microwave. Give that about 30 seconds. It does this little cycle thing here. Here we go. So, all lit up. And that is our power plant. So while we are running everything off the inverter, strictly from the battery, all of our lights, and power going to the refrigerator and microwave, we can take a look at our monitor here. And currently I was about 12.9 volts. Compressor is still running, so it draws quite a bit of juice. And says we're about 12.4 volts right now. But as soon as that compressor kicks off, that'll jump up to 12.6, 12.7. Our lights are pulling about 1.1 amps. I have the two main switches here on the front, so my 4 puck lights going on here on the front. So nice power control. We can see what's going on with the batteries, and like I said, no power coming in from the solar panel. Should have been out here earlier, that way you could see what was coming in, but 'tis what it is. Alright, so probably in mid-stride while the compressor is going, we're going to go ahead and shut off the inverter. We'll unplug the power cord from the inverter. Then we'll go ahead and kick our house power back on and button this thing up, and then I can show you how I convert that to a bed. So to power down the inverter, we can smack the button here, or we do have a button right here that we can push and kills the power to the inverter. So now we can convert everything back over to shore power. Disconnect that, close our cabinet, take our power switch, turn that off so we don't have power going to the inverter when we turn the house power on, and bam, house power is back on. Show you what that does to our monitor up here. As soon as that converter kicks on, then we're looking at, let's see, get there you go, 14.5 volts. So it's sending a lot of power to the batteries real quick. So everything's back on, running off house power. So let's make our bed. So to make our bed up here, we would remove the table. We go ahead and remove the pole. I set that down here along the side, and then take our table here. And you can put it in either way, so the notch is facing that way or it's out here, it doesn't matter. And then it's just a matter of sliding our cushions over. Like so. Now we've got a nice little bed in which it's nap time. Oh yeah. So I think I have 5-inch high quality foam, and I had a upholsterer make all the upholstery for me. Did an excellent job and very comfortable. Yeah, had many a good night's sleep in here. I like it. So now we'll convert it back to the dinette. In order to do that, just take our cushion, slide that up. Take this cushion, slide that over. Take our table. Boom. And we're done. Cool. Let's see, what else can I show you? Oh, we still have the kitchen here, and some switches and a couple other lights. So let's get to it. So our kitchen setup is very nice. We have a lot of space over here in which we can prepare our foods and set our coffee pots, do our morning routine. Man, I wish I was out camping right now, because I have some glorious mornings facing the lake, front open, curtains open, looking at the water, making my coffee, my breakfast. Oh, good time. But at any rate, we do have our water faucet here, and we have our, like I said, our water tank and our pump over here. I do have some switches on the side which activate our pump. And gives you some water. It's got a lot of pressure and drains out really nice. I didn't expect that to come on, actually. I'm glad it did, so you can see that the water actually works. So at any rate, the only thing I use this for is rinsing out my coffee pot, maybe filling up, get a glass of water, anything like that. I haven't put any food particles or brushed my teeth in the sink. I usually do that outside. So the holding tank is fairly well clean, maybe a few coffee grounds. Other than that, that's about the only thing that I've used that for, and it worked out great. So let me show you the switches over here. So looking at our beautiful kitchen area, nice aluminum backsplash coming down here, and this switch here is for our pump. So when that is on, the pump is activated. It's pressurized right now, so if I kick on the water, we do have water. And I turn that off whenever I don't need it. I have two switches here. I've got one dead one, which goes to nothing, so that's left up to you. But I do have a couple of reading lights on either side of the camper. So when I turn these switches on, you have a nice little ambiance light. And we'll close the curtains here in a little bit, and I'll show you what those also look like. Here on the front, as you come in the door, all of our light switches are here, so everything is off at this point. And we have these two are for the front section, these two are for the kitchen, and then we have these two which are for the back section, and then we have this one here which is also for that reading light. This is a dead switch here, so you can put anything else that you want on there. So all we have is the reading light on at the moment. Good deal. So let's go ahead and close up the curtains, and we'll see what this thing looks like in the dark. Alright, so we have everything pretty much buttoned up. All of our curtains are closed. It's still a little bit daylight outside, but when we kill these lights in here, kill the front lights, kitchen lights, and then the back lights. Boom. Camera kind of enhances everything, but it's pretty dark back here. So at nighttime when you want to read, we kick on these little lights here, and the camera makes it look a lot brighter than it really is, but it's got a nice soft white light. Yeah, it gives a good vibe when you're sitting in here. We'll kill those. We'll take a look at the ones here on the front. And that one there casts a little bit of light. It's actually pretty dark over here, so the camera, like I said, enhances everything, but it does give a nice soft kind of a glow. It's pretty nice if you sit down with a little cappuccino or maybe some hot chocolate with some peppermint schnapps in there or something. Yeah, especially on a rainy night. You turn these lights on, you got the rain hitting the trailer. It's just one of those things, you know, when you're camping, those are memorable moments. I think my most memorable moments are the stormy days, stormy nights. You have to hunker down inside the camper, and it's just so freaking cozy. Alright, so you also have a couple of areas up here for storage. Right now I've got some puck lights here. No batteries in anything, I don't think. Oop, got one in that one. Yeah. Do I have any in this one? Boom. Nice. Couple of decks of cards. But I do have storage on both sides. I also made a couple little tie backs, so when you pull back the curtains, if you want to wrap those around there and make it look kind of pretty. Got those on both sides back here, so you're able to put your books and knickknacks and things like that. Last but not least is our fantastic fan. We'll go ahead and pop the door open. This is a 3-speed fan, and once I kick we're setting on power number 1. Now I own a Max Air fan and I own the Fantastic fan, and the difference between the two, I think the Fantastic fan is just slightly louder with the different settings, but this here actually draws in quite a bit of air. So if I had the front door open, you can hear that bad boy sucking in some air. So usually I'll keep this on temperature number 1, and then I'll set the thermostat, and if it gets a little warm in here, then that kicks on and keeps a good circulation going. I open the front window and draws in fresh air. But in the winter time, we go ahead and keep that closed and off, and I run a small portable heater in here, so everything is always maintained a certain temperature in here. It never freezes and it never gets to a boiling point, which is perfect. Nice. Love this trailer. Almost forgot one little thing. Here on the side of the cabinet is also an outlet, so when I place my coffee pot up here, my Keurig or whatever, I have a place to plug it in. I can plug in my charger for my phone. So I have an outlet there, I have an outlet down here, I have outlets over here, and I also have outlets under this this storage unit here. And I think that's the only place I have outlets. I don't have any in here in the back, but didn't need them because we have these here in the front. I wish I had a wide angle lens for the camera so you can take all this in. Maybe I'll grab the big camera and that way you can see what all this looks like in one piece here. But it's great for 2 people, and if you got a small child or a couple of small children, get a little cramped, but it is very, very doable. So a lot of fun. Alright, stepping back outside, we also have a fire extinguisher here, which is a must-have in any camper just in case. So I do have a couple of rugs down to make it a little more cozy and comfortable. It's got the linoleum flooring. It's a perfect little camper. Alright, talk about something I hate. If I had to do the trailer again, I would probably do it almost the same way. I have no regrets on the floor layout or the camper itself. The only item that I don't like is this jack. In a haste to, I think that was one of the last things I purchased. I bought it local, and that is all they had. And pulling it out of the box, I was like, I'm not liking that. The wheel's a little bit too small, and I don't know, it works fine. It's just I don't like it. So I do like the one that I put on my teardrop, and I was threatening to always replace this one. We'll see if I get around to replacing this or not. But hey, out of the entire trailer, that is the only thing that I don't like. So, doing pretty good. We'll go ahead and put the stool back inside. We'll lock this up. We'll call it a wrap. Okay, so that is the trailer in a nutshell. We've taken a look on the outside. Like I said, I totally rinsed everything off. I didn't give it like a scrub down or a bath or anything, so there's still some dirty areas on there, but usually I take a little more time and meticulously wipe things down. In this case, I just rinsed everything off. It had been sitting out there for a few months and collected some dust. So overall, the trailer looks fantastic, and I've had no issues with it. There's no leaks or anything like that. As you saw as we go through each of the cabinets, dry spots everywhere, so I was never worried about this thing leaking. And then the inside, you saw the curtains we've got on the Sailrite tracks. You saw all the lighting. You saw all the power, the battery system, the wiring, the inverter, microwave, refrigerator, the water system, and got the little porta potty in there if you so choose to take that with you. That has not been used for at least 15, 20 years perhaps, and so it's clean. It just hasn't been used. It's in the trailer, but most of the parks that I went to had a bathroom, so I never felt the urge to pull that out. So that is it. That is my trailer, completed in 2018. I spent approximately 2 years building it, and it took that long because I was videoing the process, the entire build. So, you know, setting up a camera and moving things around, talking to you people, it takes time. So I would say about 75% of the time is just in videography itself. And then of course you got all the edit work and things like that. So it took way longer than typically would have. Alright, so how about the price? So I know what I have in that trailer. I've discussed it on YouTube. There's a couple videos out there talking about how much I have into it, plus any other accessories that I added onto this trailer. And so I'm going to start out, I'm going to ask $10,500 for the trailer, and I'm not making much money off of it at all, so I'm not really into it for the money. I would like to get back what I got into it. Hey, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You win some, you lose some. I've come out ahead on some sales and I've fallen short on others, but in the long run it's a little more than a wash. So that's where I'm going to start at, and I'll have my information down below in the description under the video. You can contact me if you're interested, and I am only interested in serious buyers. I don't want, well, I don't know, I can't say I can't, I'm not looking for trades or anything like that, but cash does talk. So that's what I'm asking, $10,500 for this trailer. I think it's a good deal. It's better than anything you're going to find on the market, and yeah, you're going to have a lot of great times in this little trailer, as I have, and I'm going to be sad when it does go, because I really do like that trailer. But I've got a lot of other ideas that I want to build, and I'm just out of room. So if I put another trailer out front, I think my landlord might start barking. Alright, so that's it. If you're interested, hey, message me, email me, get a hold of me somehow, and I'll get back with you, and we'll have a discussion. So until then, hopefully we'll see that thing pulling out of the driveway and make somebody else very happy.